Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Quarantime with RP and M3. Your mid-afternoon escape from the rigors of life and perhaps quarantine in your own home. Hope everybody's having a great day. We've got over 700 Patriots here in the chat. Johnny Alamendarez says, smuggle the baddies to Gitmo aboard the U.S. Mercy and U.S. Comfort. That's right. Sure hope that's exactly what's happening. All right, guys, we've got an hour of comfy conversation ready for you today. Please, everyone, do sit back, relax, grab your popcorn, and we'll be right back after a brief word from our sponsor. Stephen King once wrote, "Panic is highly contagious, especially in situations when nothing is known and everything is in flux." Well, the world we live in today is in flux, and it's filled with a flood of information that's often as much gossip as fact. Now, that makes it hard to know what the situation really is, and it also makes it easy for people to panic and make bad decisions. The only way not to get caught up in that chaos is to have a plan allowing you to avoid dealing with empty store shelves, long lines, and in the worst case, desperate people. Use today to prepare. A great place to start is storing food in your home, and I'm prepared myself, and I even ordered more recently. Now, the experts at My Patriot Supply have told me that orders have now reached about 100 times the normal volume, and they're shipping on a first-come, first-served basis. With this unprecedented emergency, orders are being delayed, sometimes 8 weeks or more. I urge you to add your order to mine today, because the sooner you order, the sooner you can get your purchase. Take action so you're ready for what's coming and save $70 on a 2-week emergency food kit when you go to my special website, preparewithredpill78.com. Those that know what's coming are preparing today. Go to preparewithredpill78.com. Once again, that's preparewithredpill78.com. And remember, when you support my sponsors, you support this channel. All right, thank you guys for sticking around. Welcome, Patriots, to another edition of Quarantime. I am RedPill78, and as always, my co-host here is Methods. Methods, how are you, buddy?
Doing good, man. How's everybody doing in the chat? Staying safe, bunkered down, doing what we do. Another one, man. Let's do it.
That's right. That's right. Another beautiful day and a very quiet afternoon. I don't know about you, Methods, but I was walking the dogs yesterday, or actually just before I walked the dogs, I was sitting on the porch and just listening. And there wasn't a single car on the street. There was no people out. All I heard was the sounds of birds and, I don't know, squirrels squirreling around. But it was so peaceful. It was so serene. What's it like where you're at?
Pretty much the same. You can just see, everybody's driveways are full. Everybody's staying home. I'm sure the stores are still riddled, but yeah, it's been, been quiet. It's been, I have seen some kids running around outside playing stuff like that. But I mean, overall, yeah, man, you're right. It's definitely different for this time of year because with it warming up some, especially down here in the South, everybody gets outside. So,
well, I don't live in a particularly warm climate, but I mean, it seems like there's always people out and about. I live in the city. There's always cars. There's always traffic. There's always just the noise of city life, and to not have that, it feels like I'm out in the country. It feels like I'm out someplace where, I'm just getting some solitude alone with myself. So I really appreciate that. And I hope that you guys are dealing well psychologically and physically with the lockdown that many states are experiencing right now. Angela Chung says JFK's grandkids were singing out codes to the PEDOs to the Bush family. They're going down. I actually did see that video. I thought that was pretty interesting. Katie Forston says, appreciate you both so much. Katie, thank you for that. Appreciate that. And then also Chris Hawkins said, good afternoon, RP, Methods, and Patriots. Thank you both for giving even more of yourselves. You are true warriors. Well, Methods, I'm sure I can speak for us both when I say it's an honor and a privilege and a pleasure to be here with all of you fine people every single day. I really enjoy this, and I'm glad that Methods and I decided to do this for the duration of this downtime that we're having here in America.
Right. Yeah. I mean, everybody, not everybody's used to, working from home or, being at home that much and being around relatives that they might actually enjoy being away from a little bit while they're at work. So it's nice to sit here and hang out with everybody. I mean, we've got 1,900 people here now, and that's awesome. It's cool that we all get to have this time together. We all meet at the spot, the Red Pill 78 spot. And, kick it with everybody. But yeah, I mean, hopefully everybody who's out here are, doing their, what's the word for it? Like doing other side project that they've wanted to do, whether it's around the house or a different hobby that they've been wanting to get to, all that stuff. Take a time, maybe reading a book. That's a thing. I can't think of the last one I've read cover to cover. So I don't know if I should be giving that advice. But yeah, I mean, I might actually, watch a movie or something. Go figure, right? I haven't finished a movie or a TV show in probably 6 months.
Although it's difficult, and I just want to say, honey, I miss you so much, and I hope that this is over soon so that I can see you again as quickly as possible. But the only really good part about this is getting the opportunity to hang out here at the house with my daughter. I mean, she's 18, she's going on 19, so hanging out with Pops is not number one on her list of cool things to do. But I mean, out of necessity, we've gotten the opportunity to hang out and just do a lot of talking the last couple of days, cooking too. She's a chef actually, and for the first time in her life, she actually cooked for me in the last couple of days, which was really awesome. I thought that I was good at making breakfast, but she is top notch, 100%. So it was really, really interesting, and it's making it worthwhile, I guess I would say. Lindsay Lass says, they want to sell us death and destruction and fear. Nobody is interested in selling hope. Don't worry. God will give it to you for free. Thanks, RP and Methods. These daily chats have helped immensely. Well, great. That's really, I think, what we were hoping to do. I mean, there is so much doom and gloom out on the news. And even on my daily shows, I try to do my best to inject a little bit of levity, make sure that people don't lose their sense of humor in these things, because it can be pretty easy to do that. So being able to be here and just chat and hang out with you guys here in the chat is a great thing. Need to say thank you to JG, and then also Brandy Henricks. She says, God bless RP78 and Methods. RP78, are you in a bunker? Just wondering. Love your show. Yes. Just want to show that off. This is Methods and I's cozy bunker. The same bunker that you saw on the card, the one that you saw the outside of yesterday. So this is where we are doing our program from. We've got plenty of supplies, obviously. Not going to run out of food or water, and if the apocalypse does come, we're ready.
Yeah. And to the people that have already called out that there's no toilet paper, we have a whole separate wing of the bunker just for toilet paper forts, whatever we want to do. We are working on the cannon that people said we should make.
That's right.
But yeah, no, I mean, we're stocked here, and I hope everybody that's out there listening is as well. We made sure we had just enough. AG Bar is not coming to my door because I have too much. But
not hoarding. We're not hoarding.
Right. But no, I mean, it was something that we for those paying attention, to the stuff, the writing on the wall on, all right, we were probably going to have to stay home for a few weeks. And now, the talk about it being Easter, when things can hopefully get back to, somewhat normal, we made sure when we prepared, bought, the right amount of stuff so we could hang out and not stress over that part of life, focus more on what we need to do, every day, hang out with everybody like y'all.
I just want to say, Doug F610 says, interview Dr. Shiva ASAP. Doug, I knew you were going to say that, and that's why I made sure I interviewed Dr. Shiva this past Saturday night. You can find the link to that live stream under the live streams playlist on my channel page. And maybe if you're lucky, I'll go ahead and drop the link here while we are on the air. I just got to go find it. Also, Brandy Henrik says, love it. Then Farmer's Wife says, thanks, guys. Appreciate all your work. So I did not want to get into a position where I found myself wanting for anything during this time. I mean, I knew that there was a distinct possibility that we might not be able to go anywhere. We might have to hunker down and, just rely on a bit of self-reliance rather than worrying about other people taking care of us. So definitely got myself all set. And I sure hope that you guys did too. Preparation is key. Whether or not something is catastrophic is going to take place, it's always best to plan ahead and prepare for it. Doug, I just dropped that link to the Dr. Shiva show in the chat, so you can go ahead and check that out after we're done here if you like. Farmer's Wife says, thanks, guys. Appreciate all your work. And Brian Hawking says, check out the California Legal Firearms at Franklin Armory. Is that a store? Do you own stock in Franklin Armory?
Right. Shameless plug.
We'll check it out. We'll see what's up. So what's going on in the world of the news? Get out of that bunker, Joe says. Joe, no, I'm here for the duration, man. I got to be here for a little bit. So what's going on in the news, Methods? I heard that the Senate and the White House have agreed on a plan for that new stimulus package.
Right. Well, they're supposed to vote this afternoon as far as the $2 trillion deal. So I guess they're still on the floor discussing it, or in the Senate discussing it. So we'll see what happens with that. And then Pelosi has already said that it won't be till at least tomorrow afternoon where they vote on it. So no telling how that'll go. But yeah, so far, the stock market's loving it. Let me check real quick and see the newest update on the stock market, because it was doing well this morning. Things are looking good.
Yeah. It seems like no matter what they try to do, they're never able to successfully roll back all the gains that we've made here in America. President Trump and his administration have made such an incredible response to what's been happening. He was planning way back early on, and I think that he did the right thing in not telling Americans to panic back in January. The mainstream media and what they're trying to do, accusing the president of false hope, of giving Americans too much hope. Give me a break. The last thing you want people to do is absolutely freak out and go sell all their stocks, or go buy all the toilet paper at a grocery store like they just recently did, thanks to the mainstream media. But I think that by keeping the country cozy and comfy, as we try to here on this program, I think it's the best thing to do. Make sure you're prepared. Make sure that you've got a backup plan. But don't freak out if something does happen and you need to use it. Brian Hawking, thank you again for that. And then Michelle Strop says, hey guys, finally became a member. You know me by Viper Pilot 1967 on Twitter. Love you, Red Pill and Methods. Thankfully, I have today off and can spend time with you. You are the news now. Thank you, Michelle. Appreciate that. Glad you're here. And then Brian,
I know that account.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
No, great people for sure.
Good stuff. So go follow Viper Pilot 1967 on Twitter, guys. Brian Hawking says, no stock, LOL, loophole assault weapon. Ooh, okay, all right. I'm actually going to take a closer look at that. I got the website pulled up. EO2 Dave says, I think when Biden said they have to take care of the cure, he means stop the cure. Nevada governor did it. That's an excellent segue. That's something we were going to talk about. And I'm going to be talking about it more in depth on my show at 6 o'clock. But so the Nevada governor has created an emergency declaration barring anybody with CV-19 from using chloroquine as a medicine. What possible reason, Methods, can you imagine a world where that makes any sense?
Because Orange Man bad and Orange Man's doing it. So, and this isn't about saving anybody to them. It's about power. It's about narrative. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't even read the reasoning. I saw the headline. I was like, well, that makes sense. Somebody's doing it. But yeah, it's pretty stupid. Where this is about right to try. People need to have the opportunity to do it. So yeah, I just think it's just more evil, rearing its ugly head. And as far as the stock market goes, we are up around 1,100 points right now.
Sweet.
For today. So far, looking good.
Right. So 2 consecutive days of gains. I think that's going to continue to take place. I think there's probably a lot of confidence in the market due to these additional stimulus packages that they're going to do to kind of prop everything up. Recon Marine says, after 35 years of trying to red pill family and friends about the deep state and the crimes of the Clintons, it's glorious to watch this all unfold. Yeah, I think that a lot of us are feeling quite an incredible level of vindication right now. How many times have you guys throughout your lives tried to speak to somebody about this stuff and just watched their faces glaze over, I mean, just completely check out and say, oh no, this is not something that I want to learn about?
Oh, it's definitely happened to me a lot in my life. It's kind of like when you watch the reporters on the news interviewing somebody and, they're just trying to end the conversation because they have to go, make money off of commercials. So they're like, yeah, man, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, we've gotten that a lot in our lives, and that's kind of slowed down a whole bunch. People are actually wanting to hear more and be interested. I mean, even when we were talking to Bryson off air before the show, he was asking more and more about Q stuff, which was really, really cool to talk to him about and kind of give certain Q proofs that were our favorites and all that stuff. So people are asking questions for sure.
It's definitely nice to have people show some interest in this stuff and finally start to wake up after so long. I know many people, many of you guys have been part of the truth movement for years, decades in some cases. So to be able to point to things and show them, it's got to feel good. And especially when we're talking about like the easiest red pill of all, the co-opting of the mainstream media and the use of them as a tool to try to destroy President Trump and anybody that stands in the way of their agenda. Probably the easiest thing that you can convince people of now. And when you get people to take that first step, it's just another couple of quick paces until you can show them all of the successive red pills that come directly after that.
Right. I mean, it's been blatantly obvious watching the news every step of the way that something's happened. They wanted to call it the Trump virus. I mean, come on now. The defending of China throughout all this when it came from there. I mean, we wouldn't blame China if they wanted to blame us if it came from us first. It would make sense. It would be the U.S. virus. But
yeah,
you can kind of see the agendas in like full light. And when people say, I can't wrap my head around it, why would they lie so blatantly? It's like, okay, if you want to believe in the battle versus good and evil, you're seeing evil intent. It just so happens to be somebody human. And if you can't wrap your head around putting your mind in that mindset, that's because you're a wholesome person and haven't died inside when it comes to being willing to do that for a check or agenda or whatever.
Yeah, never forget the capacity of evil in people, especially when it comes to money. And it's a lot deeper than that. I mean, it's not only money. Some of these people, this is their way of life. I mean, they are from their core just black-hearted. Marie Stearns, thank you for that super chat. Also, Todd McCain, thank you for joining as a member. Our Dr. D, big friend of the program, says RP-78 and methods during the day and Space Shot 76, RDoc, and Hulk at night, keeping you informed during the lockdown. Where we go one, we go all.
RDoc will expect that advertisement fee to be on the PayPal account.
20% of all your revenue for the next month.
Right. Good to see you, bud. Glad you're here.
Good to see you. Candace Zugic says, after 12 years of trying to red pill my husband, last night he told me he believes me. Praise be. Ha. Wow, 12 years. I hope that it was a playful 12 years, that it wasn't
right.
that he wasn't totally freaked out the whole time. But I suppose it must have been a good time if he didn't, turn tail and run away. But good for you, Candace. I'm glad that your husband has finally turned the corner and realizes what's going on in this country and across the globe. Maybe he's watching right now. Hopefully so. Arkansas Honey says, there are several hospitals here and none are full. In fact, some are at record low capacity. Thanks for all you guys do. This is not the first time I've heard this. Obviously there's hot spots throughout the country. And I think that what these hospitals have done have asked people to not come in if it's for non-essential things. So that could be the case. But it doesn't mean that we're not going to see some additional cases. It also could be that these people in these areas are not as susceptible to this as the press would like us to believe. I think that that's probably very likely. Marie Stern says, use doggy poo-poo bags to cover hands when using public doorknobs, gas pump handles, etc. Stay safe, patriots. Love to red pilling methods. It's not a bad idea. I've got a whole, like part of my cupboards in the kitchen that are filled with grocery bags from going to the grocery store, because when I run out of regular doggy bags, I'll use those to pick up dog poop. So yeah, great idea, definitely. And I would carry some Purell with you. There's something very important about the Purell, though. I guess that there is like a minimum amount of time that your hands have to remain wet in order for that to be sufficiently effective against whatever it is that you're trying to disinfect. I don't know the length of time, but that's something that you might want to go ahead and check out, you guys, just to be safe.
I have to read this comment out.
Please.
From the Punisher, a friend from Twitter as well. Red Pill 78 and Methods 2024.
Yeah, I'll go for it.
Nah, man, we're here to help out, but I trust someone like Trump to run things, or whoever he endorses.
Yeah,
don't expect the endorsement in the mail anytime soon for us to be running this show.
Yeah. As funny as it sounds, something tells me that President Trump's not gonna get us on a national stage like that. But whatever, you can always dare to dream. C. Lee, thank you for joining as a member. Don Yarley says, open back up on Easter, going to be biblical. Yeah, let's talk about that. President Trump stating openly that he wants to get the country running again by Easter. That would, by timing all of this in concert with Easter and, maybe some big events on Good Friday. Obviously, you guys know I love to speculate about this stuff. Methods is a little bit more conservative about it. But, if it comes down to it, what better time of the year would it be to make something biblical?
Oh, right. And I have no problem speculating with it. I mean, people, we've said it enough now. If people want to run with my stuff, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, the more and more that the word biblical and Trump saying the Easter thing, and then the Good Friday being the 4/10/20, Passover when it comes to plague. I mean, it's all, to me, I'm like y'all, I'm like, okay, I'll bite and I'll talk about it. But I mean, if it comes to be the day after Easter and we're still locked down and nothing's changed, that's where the conservative side of me says, just, chew on it and put it on the burner and keep looking for other things. But it's definitely curious to me that we're talking about biblical things happening on this timeline. And how long has it been? Q's been saying that for what, a few months now?
Yeah. I mean, I don't exactly know when the first "It's Going to Be Biblical" post came out, but it's been a minute now. I saw somebody say to slow the chat. I did just slow it another 30 seconds, and I wanted to say a hi to something went wrong with my stream. Wanted to say hi to Craig Mason at Craig Mason's Reasonable Conversation channel. I saw him in the chat earlier. Craig had me on his show last night. It was a really good spot. So if you guys want to go check that out, the whole show was an hour long. My segment was a half an hour. I love speaking with Craig. Absolutely love picking his mind and discussing things with him. Craig is a great guy. So if you are one of the rare people on my channel who are not aware of Craig Mason, I seriously suggest you go and subscribe to him. He's a great dude. Derek Lantham says, doesn't it seem like... My phone just started going to Siri.
Skynet, man.
Yeah,
Skynet.
Derek Lanham says, doesn't it seem like Congress is purposely dragging their heels on this? Do you guys think that this $1,200 is going to stop people from rioting and looting? We can definitely talk about that. I do think it seems like certain elements of Congress are dragging their feet. The Senate and the White House came to an agreement on what this next stimulus bill needs to include. Does it go far enough? Maybe not for some people. We are all going to be hurting financially in some way as a result of this shutdown and as a result of the entire economy grinding to a halt. So I think that we just need to make sure that we are there to support each other in whatever way we can. Because at some point, I think that one of us is going to need just as much help when it comes to, some other tragedy that might happen down the road. So if we're just kind to our fellow neighbor and we treat them the way that we want to be treated, if we can give when we do have the capacity to give, if we can help in any way, then I think it'll go a long way towards making this a smooth transition into something else. Now, as far as Pelosi being the one who is doing the foot dragging, yes, I do believe she is. Now, Methods, you said that they're taking another 24 hours to go over whatever it was that the Senate put together.
Yeah, I mean, it's total different than you got to pass the bill to be able to read the bill. She's given the House 24 hours to read it, apparently, to then make their decision to vote, and that's as early as tomorrow afternoon. We don't know. There's might be even more foot dragging. It's obvious that they don't want to allow Trump the win on helping, even though his approval over this has been 60% across America. How he's handling the kung flu. But yeah, I mean, it's getting those agendas in there. That's why I'm not surprised that she dusted off her 1,400-page version that she miraculously had over the weekend. Go figure.
Right. Does anybody really believe she put that together inside of a day? I mean, clearly, I think they had that sitting on a shelf for a rainy day so that they could just stuff it into something that they knew needed to get passed.
Right. So what you do when it comes to negotiating and stuff like that is that you throw everything at it that you want to have, so the lesser things get through in the negotiations. And that's why you see all the, like Trump and, certain media people, Republicans, saying this isn't about time to politicize it. Why are we even having discussions about abortion stuff? That still bothers me to this moment.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I mean, it's about saving lives, and they just want to, take them away for whatever reason. But it is a fight that we're having right now with it, and I also think that it is shining the light to a lot of people that haven't been paying attention as much. Now it's affecting their bank accounts, their jobs, their relatives, and stuff like that. And to the point that you're saying about helping each other, I was watching happen earlier on Twitter, and it was exciting to watch. Dilly's girl, I forget her name off the top of my head, but Hublet.
Yes.
She first off, she's being censored hard. Her, Dilly. A bunch of people, you can't even read what they tweeted when you read the reply. There's some stuff going on with Twitter right now that's messed up. But she had somebody reach out, and they needed somebody in another state to get to groceries and stuff because they couldn't get out and do it, and they needed help. I think it was an elderly situation. And the last thing I heard is that they had solved it, and they solved it through the internet, discussing and networking. So helping people from across the U.S. So that's the kind of things that do need to happen, being there for people in these times, because it is difficult. Not everybody was prepared, or they couldn't be prepared,
right?
Or can't travel, or or being told that they can't. So I don't know. It's just one of those things that we all just need to band together now more than ever.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Let's see. Michael Kenny says RP78 playing C&C Red Alert online. Y'all should join. Yeah, funnily enough, I'm not. We just picked these up. Methods went on a hunt for me and was able to find some great shots. Eric Anderson says, timber a reference to HRC, Evergreen Falling Timber. What I thought was that was potentially a reference to Timber Wolf, who is George H.W. Bush. But there is also, there's the JFK. There is a monument to him in a particular country that will go unnamed, and he was referred to as the Great Tree or something like that. I'm going to have to look it up to give you guys the full story, but I've got a theory I'm working on with that, and I'm going to put it together so you guys can hear it. Eric Anderson, thank you. Son of a Green Card says, wife and I are going to spend Friday picking up and dropping off meds and groceries to the elderly in quarantine. I would encourage others to do the same if you are able. Stay safe. Let's be in the light at a time of darkness. Yeah, that's excellent, Son of a Green Card. Glad to hear that you're doing that.
That's very admirable, man.
Yeah,
that's
yes.
Patriotism at its finest.
Simone just woke up.
Well, yeah. I'll take a moment right here and say, hey, we've got a little over 4,100 people here. We got 1.1 thousand likes. Everybody's, smash that like button, share this out. We still got another half hour to kick it with y'all.
Just want to say, Angel Power just said chat don't work. No, it's slow mode because we've got over 4,000 people here, and if everybody would chat every single second, then nobody would be able to read it. So it's set so that you can only chat once every 90 seconds. That way my eyes won't burn out while I'm trying to read the chat and respond to you guys, because I like to be able to do that. Also, Looney Tune says 3.6 thousand watching, 900 likes. Guys, smash the like button. We're up to 1.3 thousand likes now and 4,185 viewing. If you guys would do us a favor, please, we would so appreciate it if you could like that video. If you could also share it on your favorite social media platform, help us break through the algo. It does a lot. That is the absolute best way that you can possibly support the channel. And if you really want to help, then watch an ad if they show you one, because it's an unusual time when they will allow it. Also, Peach 8000 says 41020 equals DJT equals Donald J. Trump. That's right. So I know I'm looking forward to Good Friday. I certainly hope that something miraculous happens on that day. Could be something big, but we won't know until we actually get there. Elizabeth Cole says, Book of Esther, God's people will not be destroyed. You are correct. And then Alexandria Occasional Cortex, GreatAwakening.tv. Got 7 minutes this week. AOC, I tried going to your website the other day and it didn't work. So I don't know if that was just something on my end or if maybe you hadn't gotten it fully set up yet. But remember, AOC is running for Senate in Arizona, not an endorsement. But if you want to help out a fellow viewer of the program, get on the ballot or support them in the run, then you can reach out at great-awakening.tv. And AOC is going to appear on the program for a mini town hall sometime this week. We're going to talk with Mark. It's actually Mark, but I will forever love the name Alexandria Occasional Cortex, one of the best monikers I've ever heard. Oh, and he's saying it's up. It is up. Okay, good. So there was something that you said that took me to another point that I wanted to make, and I am forgetting it now. But I did want to talk about this. Did you guys hear about the CV challenge on social media methods? Are you familiar with that?
Oh, I saw it. I definitely saw it.
So kids on, I think, like TikTok and Facebook and Instagram, whatever social media they use, they were filming themselves licking toilet seats to see if they would get infected with CV-19. And lo and behold, some of them did. It actually happened. There was a kid in particular I was reading about on Big League Politics. He has been diagnosed. He was shown licking toilets. And I'm not talking like the toilet seat. I'm talking about the top of the bowl, like lifting up the toilet. I'm going to throw up just thinking about it.
You brought it up, man.
Oh my goodness. It's absolutely disgusting. I don't understand why anybody would be stupid enough to do that. It's like the videos of people like opening up ice cream or other sealed packages of food and licking it, or taking bites and then putting it back. I saw a video of kids drinking from 20 different bottles of Mountain Dew and then putting them back on the shelf. What is wrong with people nowadays? Is it just that they're trying to get YouTube famous? Are they trying to get popular? Or are they just that stupid that they don't care? They don't have any regard for their fellow human?
I mean, we don't know the exact story about before it. Obviously, if it's being filmed, more than likely somebody's standing there filming it. So there's that whole pressure point. We all did dumb stuff growing up, right? I mean, I'm
not
so
that dumb.
I know, not that. No, okay, yeah, not that dumb. But we all have things, especially at our ages and even older, that we're grateful when we look back that filming things and putting it on the internet wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
We all have that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to the CV challenge that's happening, that's just survival of the fittest, man.
Yeah. I mean, that's an argument for evolution right there. So
right.
They're making it for us. Probably the stupidest thing that I did, there was a huge hill in my neighborhood, and you could go up to the top, and we'd skate down it or we'd ride our bikes, and there's a stop sign at the bottom of the hill. So you could time it so that you wouldn't get hit by a car, but you really needed somebody to be at the bottom of the hill. And there was more than once that I just blew through that stop sign because I was going so fast. When I lived out in Colorado years ago, what we would do is we'd take a pickup truck with our bikes in it and then go up to the top of this mountain and there was a weather research station up there, and there's a road that winds all the way down to the base of the mountain, and you'd get going like 35, 40 miles an hour on your bike, even like a mountain bike with knobby tires. It was pretty sweet. That was about as stupid as I did. Need to say thanks to Baby Yoda. He says, truly from my heart, I want to thank you, gentlemen. I am very aware of what is happening. I'm prepared for 10 persons. I'm here for the friendship and to learn how to red pill others. Best regards. Baby Yoda, thank you so much, brother. Appreciate you being here. So yeah, maybe that's a good subject we can talk about. I mean, I've heard a lot of people asking that. And I've always said that it's best to start off with something small, something that you can, crack into the darkness with. Because if you can get someone to accept a small truth, that something that they've been lied to about, then I think that it more easily leads to the next and to the next and to the next. And I also think that when you start off with something small and maybe more innocuous than some of the rather tragic things that we've come to learn about here, then it makes it easier for people to make that ascent. Out of the basement, if you will. And if you start with something that's really heavy, then it just might make people shut down. I mean, they're not going to want to learn everything because it completely destroys their worldview, and they have to reevaluate everything.
Right. I mean, that's the whole concept of planting the seed, right? I mean, just getting people to bite onto something. I always, when I've had those kind of opportunities, you just kind of mention it casually, and just, you don't have to act like the purveyor of knowledge. You know there to help them. It's more so like, hey, isn't this pretty crazy that they did that? Like the media said that it was this way 2 months ago. Why don't you look on YouTube? But there's compilation videos of these people saying the exact opposite. In that, you know what I mean? Like going down that road. And that's why, like, to even segue further, because we talked about it before the show about, when you're introducing people to the Q movement, when people say, okay, what is Q? And I love seeing it on Twitter, when somebody says, all right, fine, I keep hearing about this Q thing. Can you explain? And they get riddled with 10,000 likes and twice as many comments. And I'm like, this person might have like 1,000 followers and just had the world shine a light on them.
Yeah.
God bless them. I hope that they learned something. But no, I love the movement for it, because everybody just wants to help. But when it comes to talking about Q in general to people that are willing to hear about it, I like to look at it more so, instead of explaining, military operations, showing up on image boards, and also post other weird stuff. Instead of going down that road, you can get to it. And go about it your own way and use discernment with who you're talking to. But how I see it is talk about the effect of what happened because Q showed up. The fact that there is a Red Pill 78, there is a methods, there is a Twitter army, a Facebook army, memes that just own the internet. It's that happened because of how Q got started. So I always start at the effect, what happened. And what that is it's a movement of people paying attention to everything, calling out all the your toilet paper fall over.
No, Simone knocked my vape over.
Okay.
Gotta get that.
But yeah, talking to people in such a way that it's about a movement that's paying attention to everything, looking to the past, figuring out what we've been lied to, figuring out what we're being lied to about now, what's the agenda, and how to keep things on course. Get back to love of country, love of family, religious, trying to be religious the best you can if that's your thing. And that's the whole idea of the movement, is that we all make sure that everybody is held accountable, even when it comes to something simple as a misleading headline. And that's what we're trying to do here. And then obviously, shows like this, for example, people who have been following for a while and know what we're doing, we get to talk into more candid, we could say those inside jokes that people get. There's different levels that people are in. And I've always wanted to take care of the people that have been around for a while. So I just share certain points and people get it. But then also the new people are like, wow, this has got a bunch of likes, a lot of comments about people agreeing. And then you start seeing people that I've never seen before. It's like, hey, okay, what am I missing here? And then watching somebody else answer it, and then the thank you, and then they follow each other. It's really cool to watch happen. And that's the whole point of it to me.
Yeah, I mean, at its heart, this is the most wholesome movement that's ever existed. The restoration of our republic. I mean, that's really what it is. I mean, all of the freedoms and rights that we were originally guaranteed and that have been slowly eroded over the course of the last couple hundred years, giving people the opportunity to be themselves. I mean, I'm basically in favor of everyone doing what's best for them as long as it doesn't hurt other people. And if somebody has an opinion that's different than mine, it is not up to me to chastise them for that. Whatever is true, they're going to learn eventually in their own course. And once it happens, maybe they're going to have to go back and reevaluate some stuff. But everything that this movement has accomplished has been a tremendous positive. I mean, even for the people who have had their paradigms shattered and had to reevaluate everything that they've seen or heard in their lives. I think it's amazing what we've been able to accomplish in this short time. And I often say, what President Trump has accomplished. But right now, I'm talking about us, you guys, what we, the people, have been able to accomplish in this very short amount of time. It is quite literally glorious to me. I absolutely love waking up every morning with the expectation that I'm going to get online and I know that there's going to be something new that I haven't learned yet, that somebody is going to have dug up or researched and presented in a way that is easily digestible. That is the true glory of social media. That is the best possible way that it can be used, in my opinion. People give Twitter a lot of hassle because of everything that they do. But when it comes down to it, I don't think that we should be, dropping Twitter like yesterday's news. I think that we should be using Twitter to make it better so that they know that it's our platform. I mean, it truly is the public square, the modern day town square. And I want to use it because President Trump is there. This is the best way that President Trump can communicate with the people. And it's the best way right now for us to be able to communicate with each other in the way that we have been. I need to say thank you to Truth Seeker. No, I need to say thank you again to Truth Seeker. And Just Cruisin' says, first super chat, keep up the great work. Thank you for that. Looney Tunes says, hi, Simone. She's now laying in her bed. Lynn Hammond has joined as a member. And Trump Be Cool says, we have to ease everyone through the darkness while helping them see the light. Remember, try not to gloat, and we will be carrying brothers off of the battlefield. In it together. Absolutely. This is why I say we need to be kind to people on social media. Because those people that are coming to attack you for having those wrong views in their minds, at some point they're going to come to you and they're going to be looking for answers. They're going to be looking for somebody to help them sort out what happened and how everything went so wrong. Methods, I got to let Muffin in.
That's fine, man. Yeah, to that point, like when I get up in the morning, it's exciting to know that, the news is running through the movement 24/7, 365. We have that opportunity to hop in and catch up within 10 minutes if you know the right places to look, what's happened overnight while you were sleeping, or if you're off doing your own thing in real life. We get to learn, catch up real quick and be there. And it's exciting that we always know that we can plug into the internet and see and just get right back into the swarm of things and see what's happening and hang out with people and have a good time. I mean, we get to literally kick it all day if we want to with patriots all over the world.
Right.
And the fact that we've all unified in such a way, I mean, it's great. And it's to the point of, staying humble and all that stuff. That's why we always argue that there's no leaders. I mean, I get it. People do those Trump trains of you should follow this for Q. And I get that. And people who add me, I appreciate you for it. But in turn, I mean, you have your favorite people that you like to go to, but there's still brilliant tweet threads out there, and I'll see it and I'm like, wow. And I've never seen the person.
Right.
There's so many of y'all, which is, a blessing, in disguise. But as far as the leadership stuff and all that, no, I mean, this movement is the enigma that it should always be. And I hope we'll always stay that way. And we'll just keep moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Elise Elise Schurer says, have you rewatched Donnie Darko? Had Q stuff. I have not, and I know that it might have been you who told me to do that. I just haven't had the time. Now that we're inside for a couple of weeks, I will definitely rewatch Donnie Darko. Methods, if you want to watch that with me, that would be sweet.
It's my favorite movie.
Yeah.
It's up there in my top 5 at least.
Yeah, I have to agree. It's Unspoken says, Red Pill and Methods, thank you so much for taking so much time to keep folks calm and informed. You two are a true blessing, and I thank you. Thank you very much. It's Unspoken. Jeff George says, NIH reports 80% false positive with CV-19 test. That doesn't surprise me. It sounds like this is something that they rushed into production in order to, I guess, pacify the public or at least give some type of answers. So, yeah, unfortunately. One other thing that I heard was that the way the test works, and I got a lot of emails last time when I mentioned something about the RNA testing, and I just want to say that many people who are informed told me that that is the best way to test. So I don't think that what I'm about to say is necessarily due to the RNA portion of the test, but that the way this works is that there are so many different viruses that exist and that are living in us at any given point, and that this current test will show if you've come in contact with it at any time in the past, and then will therefore give you a false positive. Candace Zugic says, can you give my mom and sister a shout out? I'm here because of them. Yeah, no problem. Ashley Chekos, how you doing? Glad that you're here with your sister watching the program, or maybe you're the mom. I don't know. But Ashley Chekos and Michelle Turry, thank you both for watching this program, and thank you for bringing Candace on board. And she says, thank you, Red Pill. Thank you. Now, Scotty Dubs, this is something we can discuss. I'm getting sick of giving my rights away for safety. The greater good rhetoric is getting on my nerves. I will not obey any curfews. Well, Scotty, I say you do that at your own peril. This is not a permanent thing that's happening right now. If we're being asked to stay indoors for a temporary length of time, I think there must be good reason behind it. Now, if they were telling us that we were going to have to remain inside and not go out, for the foreseeable future, then that would be a totally different story. But right now, I think that there is too much that could potentially be going on. And by staying inside, it's for our own safety. Methods, I'd like to know what you have to think about that.
Well, as far as giving up freedoms and all that stuff, it's very, there's too many layers to that. Which freedoms are we talking about? What's going on in real life at the moment. And we're also watching, if you just watch the government right now over the stimulus package, it's a fight over which laws, where does our own money go? And these people are elected. Yeah, we put them in there or whatever, but it's people deciding, and it's not a whole lot of people. Mm-hmm. So watching the fight over, how many laws need to happen. Trump's trying to return power back to the people, and we're watching the back and forth of swaying. So, yeah, I mean, we like to say, trust the president. I'm not going to say trust the PLAN because I know that's triggering people, when they're stressed out. But, you withhold judgment on everything, withhold judgment on things, and just see how it plays out later.
Yeah.
But for now, I mean, they've been trying to take our guns for forever. And then I just sent you that video earlier of
glorious.
Yeah, we can't air it. Maybe if you could grab it from our chat, you could drop it if people want to watch it. There is language in it, but it's a gun shop owner, as I understand it, that puts out a PSA video to all the first-time gun buyers who are emptying their shelves and stuff, and they don't understand the process of, you have to the 10-day waiting period or whatever to get approved to own a gun, or you're being out of stuff. And the guy goes off about it.
Yeah.
But the idea that gun sales are up this much during all it took, is this virus. And yeah, it's killing people. We get all that, even though we know that the common, the regular flu, quote unquote, kills way more, or has killed way more even this year. The idea that everybody's knee-jerk reaction was to go buy a gun when they've probably tweeted at least saying guns are bad, take them away. So how quick?
And then appalled at the fact that they have a 10-day waiting period, like absolutely zero knowledge or understanding of how it works, thinking that they can just go in and just get one immediately because that's what they've been told by their legislators and the mainstream media. I mean, what an incredible learning experience for these people, where they themselves are now realizing that the freedoms that they thought that they had have already been stripped away due to their own efforts and the efforts of the people that are supposed to be, working for them in Washington. I think that that's a tremendous opportunity and a major positive. I tend to believe that that has the impact right there of changing a lot of people's hearts and minds, specifically when it comes to this issue.
Right. I mean, and you remember when they were trying to say, the media, and I think some Democrats were saying that you could buy guns on Amazon or eBay and all that stuff. And then they were like, wow, I actually can't do that because it's, it's fascinating for people to learn. But hey, sometimes you got to learn through circumstance and living through it, to understand, all right, hey, yeah, maybe I do need to have a gun just in case there are riots or looting, rises in wherever you live. California too, with all the homeless stuff going on and the robberies happening. How many liberals over there are like, okay, maybe these gun owners have, a good point to it, but we need to at least be able to protect ourselves.
Absolutely. So. And as I said, I mean, if we're being asked to do this just on a temporary basis, I don't think that this is something that's going to, erode our rights and, give us a permanent curfew. If you take a look, Scotty, specifically, if you take a look at everything that President Trump and his administration have done since coming into office, just look at what's been rolled back and how many of our freedoms have begun to gradually come back, and how much we have been given as a result of him being there. I see the asking to stay inside and just, sacrifice a little bit of our time, spend some time with our families. It's something that I'm completely willing to do because I do believe that there is far more going on here than what we know as an upfront. So all I'm saying is don't look at this as something that is going to be an event like we might have expected under the last administration or if Hillary Clinton had come into office. Truth Seeker has joined as a member. Thank you, Truth Seeker. Michelle Litton says, do you think this is getting us prepared for something bigger? I tend to think that this is in preparation for something bigger. Yeah, I think that there is definitely more going on that we're not privy to. I've seen a lot of footage and images of some heavy artillery making its way across the country to some very peculiar areas. There was a video that I saw just this morning which showed some tanks and some vehicles. I'm not familiar with the titles of them, but it was apparently being deployed in response to this potential pandemic. But these were vehicles that would be used for detention and for tracking down of people who are criminals, and it was down in South Florida. So there's no reason for that to be out in response to a medical emergency. And that's not the only place that I've seen it. I've seen this all across the United States. Many people sending me videos and images of trains just stuffed full of armored vehicles. Shannon Reeves says, I have watched for quite some time, but only just joined. So hi and thank you. Thank you very much, Shannon. Appreciate that. And I'm glad that you're here with us live for the first time. If you guys are here for the first time, Methods and I have a daily program now, just started yesterday, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., Monday through Friday. And it's called Quarantime, and it's going to be until the end of this operation that's going on right now. And then every day at 6 p.m., I have my regular daily news roundup. And then, of course, on the weekends, on Friday nights, we are live at 10 p.m. for Friday night live stream, Saturdays at 9 p.m. for Saturday night live stream, and then Sundays, Methods and I have another program called Comfy Sunday, and that's at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So any of these programs that you guys are able to join us on, we greatly appreciate it. We love having you guys here and being able to put on the show for you guys and maybe help you learn something new.
Do you think that this would probably be a good opportunity with everybody here to say who's going to be with us on Sunday?
Yeah, we can go ahead and announce that.
Yeah, I mean, we'll tweet about it again, but and I'm making sure I don't get this wrong. I'm looking at the calendar.
I know, I'm looking too.
Yeah, because we got a lot of good ones, and I don't want to get it necessarily wrong. Okay, yeah, I know who it is. we're gonna have on this Sunday on Comfy Sunday. Breaking news, everybody! We're gonna have Sean over from SGT Report come hang out with us Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, and talk about whatever he wants to talk about. I mean, I think he's a great person to have around and talk about this stuff. He's been paying attention to it a whole lot, and yeah, we're really excited to have him on.
Yeah, Sean from SGT Report was a major influence on me. He's a legend as far as I'm concerned. I've been watching him for years. We don't always agree on everything, but that's, I think, the best part about it is that we can have him on, we can have a conversation, and we can discuss these things and, maybe come to, some understanding on things that we don't agree on, and, maybe we can teach each other something. Sean is a great guy. He has a great program. If you're not familiar with him, search SGT Report on YouTube. Also, Chumley73 says, Soldier with White Bunny Colonel Hunt Kuster. Yes. I don't know if it's Kuster or Keister. Could be either. But I saw that there was a video that was put out about him. There was a manual that he wrote. I had that. I was going to go over it, but I don't think we're going to have time today. Also, Trump Be Cool has joined as a member, and Curly Boo Boss has joined as a member. Red Pill 68 says, where we go one, we go all. QAnon, hashtag MAGA 2020. Bob Ayala says, when did the president say that there would be thousands of suicides? I don't recall this. The president did not say that. Suicide Weekend was a line taken from a post by Q, which you can go to qmap.pub if you want to go ahead and check that out. If you're also new to the channel, I often say our favorite Anon, and Anon is someone who's anonymous posting on these message boards, and Q basically is the end-all be-all of Anons because of the information that's being dropped. Go to qmap.pub and check it out if you haven't yet.
All right, real quick, Eli Strawman, I'm reading your comment there. Stay tuned. Stay tuned, bud. We'll leave it at that.
Low key. Baby Yoda says, no sky written for 4+ days in Colorado Springs. That's very good. Glad to hear it. Clear skies are a big deal. I'd like to know what you guys are seeing in your neck of the woods. What kind of activity are you witnessing? What kinds of stuff are you seeing in the sky? Are you seeing any National Guard? Are you seeing any military presence? Email me, redpill78@protonmail.com. Send me your pictures. Send me your videos, and I'll put together something for you guys to see. Lynn Hammond says, love and thanks from Jakey Schumann. Thank you very much, Lynn and Jake. Kathleen Glockner says, God bless everyone. Love Red Pill 78 and Methods. Thank you very much for that. God bless you as well. Tom, thanks for the super chat. And Jay Britz says, love you guys. No homo. Absolutely right back at you, brother. Always no homo, but love you. Love you for real. Oh man, you guys, seriously, if anybody here is new to the program, please do consider subscribing. Make sure that you hit the notification bell and go to all notifications. I have a really high rate of people that hit that notification bell, but there are still like 74% of you that could, 64% of you that could still hit that notification bell. That way you make sure you get notified more than likely every time I put out a video. You can also follow me on Twitter at redpill78. You can unfollow Methods on Twitter as well. Methods, what's your handle?
It's M2 Madness. Yeah, I do things over there sometimes.
Methods is legend on Twitter, guys.
I don't know about all that, but I have a lot of fun over there.
Yeah,
I'll say that. I meet a lot of great people on Twitter.
Yeah. I love Twitter too. I'm not quite as prolific as Methods, but it's mostly because I'm spending all of my time putting together these shows and getting everything organized so that I can present something good for you guys. Emmy, Worldwide One, Where We Go One, We Go All UK says, just found your stream. Great idea. Thank you for coming in. Oh, our good friend White Hat is here as well. White Hat,
buddy.
Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Let's see. Actually, Enough Already says POTUS did say that during the interview yesterday about the economy, that there would be 1,000 suicides due to people losing money on Fox News. All right. Well, I stand corrected. Thank you very much for that, but different than millions of suicides. Even still, I haven't seen that. But I tend to think that there are going to be some people who find themselves in some really dire financial straits. And when it comes down to it, we can look squarely at Pelosi and her ilk and put the blame on them. I mean, this is one last thing I want to ask you, Methods, before we end the show. What did you think about the post that we got the other day, which really was a firm confirmation for me on what's been happening with the CV-19? Do you think that this is, well, I want you to tell me what you think it is as a result of that.
Well, I think following Q long enough, if you see long posts like that where he's kind of, you follow the thought process of what he's trying to explain and all that, it, to me, it even more confirmed that what we're dealing with now with this Kung flu, was planned to a degree. Not saying by the white hats. What I'm saying was that it was intentional. And I even put it out on Twitter, kind of just to really see what everybody else thought about it, and it kind of took off about the timing of how China was trying to keep things quiet with the Kung flu, and then Pelosi holding on to the articles of the impeachment for a month. As it's like it had to spread during these things. And somebody made a good point on Twitter. That's why I like putting stuff like that out, because you read some brilliant stuff. It's almost as if this situation we're in now was meant to be during the Senate hearings with witnesses, to where they literally would have tried to put too much on Trump's shoulders.
Right.
So that to me, you can kind of see the writing on the wall. But to get back to your point, Q lays it out, or our favorite, lays it out, if you just really read it, about how things played out in a certain way, and what's the benefit of having this situation going on with no Trump rallies, which we all love, and it energizes people and stuff like that. It hurts the economy that Trump can, literally campaign on. All those different things, to the point, and also keeping Biden from having to do public appearances.
Yes, that's a big one. And I do want to say that I missed Super Tuesday in the post when I covered it yesterday. I saw it as soon as I posted it. The first comment was, Super T is Super Tuesday. And I was, oh my goodness, I couldn't believe I missed it. So thank you to everybody who helped bring that to my attention. Well, one more from Chumley73. Can you guys do a quick primer on Q? Many newbies here. We're not going to be able to today, guys, but I promise you, Methods and I will go over that in detail tomorrow. So if you're new here, if you're new to the channel, if you're new to this movement, make sure you show up tomorrow, and we will go over a primer on who our favorite Anon is in detail. We'll start at the beginning, and we'll take it through the hour. How's that sound, Methods?
Sounds good. Makes our prep a little bit easier, because we know what we're talking about now.
Sure does. Sure does. All right, guys. Well, I just want to say thank you to everybody who joined us today. Over 4,700 people watching. Thank you to everybody who is new to the channel, everybody who is participating. Make sure that on your way out, if you have not yet, you hit that like button and hit that notification bell so you can get notified when I first put a video out. And as far as that goes, I will see you guys at 6. Thank you so much for being here.
Yep. Thanks to everybody for hanging out. Nothing but love, and we'll catch you guys again tomorrow.
See you guys.